In today's exploration of cybersecurity tech news, a journalist has only narrowly escaped being sued for using F12 to view a website's HTML source code. This story is both scary and hilarious at the same time, so grab some popcorn because you're about to witness the most mind-blowing example of technical idiocy you've ever seen. So it all kicked off in October last year when a journalist working for St. Louis Post-Dispatch, a local Missourian newspaper, found an incredibly embarrassing vulnerability in a Missouri government website. The website itself allows you to check whether a teacher in the state is qualified. Just type in the name of a teacher, press search, and you can see a list of their qualifications. Fairly simple, straightforward, and boring. Or at least it was, until a journalist came along, one Josh, and pressed F12. Which of course displays a web page's HTML source code, within which he found the social security number of the teacher he searched, and in total 100,000 teachers' SSNs were essentially public, as in every time someone loaded this website, social security numbers were sent to their browser, but of course they weren't visible until you hit F12. They were encoded in base 64, so all someone needed to do was paste the encoded text into a decoder to unscramble the social security numbers. Oh, and for the uninitiated, base 64 is not encryption, it's just a way of displaying text, like text can be displayed in Morse code, or binary, or French.
Pensez à vous abonner.
This error seems to have been down to a misconfigured database query. And so our journalist did the correct thing and reported the vulnerability to the government. He didn't publish any articles or tweet about it until the problem was fixed. Now, some organizations have bug bounty programs, so they pay people who report flaws like this. The organizations that don't will just thank whoever reported it. In fact, the Dutch government will send t-shirts to people who report vulnerabilities in their systems. It's become a bit of a meme. According to leaked emails, this is the response the Missouri government was going to take. Not a free t-shirt, but just a statement of thanks, saying, "We are grateful to the member of the media who brought this to the state's attention." Fairly vanilla and unremarkable. That is, until the government did a complete 180, and Missouri's governor, Mike Parson, turned this story into an absolute clown show, when in a press conference he called the journalist a hacker. Remember, all the journalist did was press F12, view the source code and responsibly disclose the vulnerability. And now he's being threatened with a lawsuit. So I've edited down the video of the press conference. You're absolutely going to love this. Let's have a watch.
The Department of Elementary and Secondary Education, DESE, was made aware of a vulnerable on one of its websites. Through a multi-step process, an individual took the records of at least 3 educators, decoded the HTML source code, and viewed the social security number of those specific educators. This matter is a serious matter, so this was clearly a hack. This incident alone may cost Missouri taxpayers as much as $50 million. The state is committing to bring to justice anyone who hacked our system, and we are coordinating state resources to respond and utilize all legal methods available. State statute also allows us to bring civil suit to recover damages against all those involved. They were acting against a state agency to compromise teachers' personal information in an attempt to embarrass the state and sell headlines for their news outlet. We will not let this crime against Missouri teachers go unpunished. What they did is beyond unethical. Thank you very much.
You know, I honestly had trouble writing the next part of this video because I just wasn't sure how to respond to this. Just the way he says HTML.
The HTML.
It sounds like the first time he's ever heard of it is from the script he's reading. And the weirdest part is, it sounds like he believes everything he's saying, that this was some kind of a hack of epic proportions. And I'm not quite sure how the figure of $50 million to fix the bug was derived. Either the state is being milked by contractors, or the governor gets his figures from playing with a plate of number spaghetti. And if you didn't think matters could get worse, then you're in for an absolute treat. Because exploiting the opportunity for political grandstanding over defending teachers from those evil hackers was taken to a whole new level when this saga was used to promote the governor in a political ad of theatrical proportions, which we shall now laugh at.
Latest from the Missouri's fake news factory is from the St. Louis Post-Dispatch, where a reporter has been digging around HTML code on a state website. The State Technology Division said the hacker took the records of at least 3 educators, decoded the HTML source code, and viewed the social security numbers of teachers from a state website. Governor Parson believes everyone is entitled to their privacy, especially our teachers. Governor Parson is standing up to the fake news media and is committed to bring to justice anyone who obtained private information. The St. Louis Post-Dispatch is purely playing politics. Exploiting private information is a squalid excuse for journalism, and hiding behind the noble principle of free speech to do it is shameful.
You know, seeing a political ad is always going to be strange for me because they're illegal on TV in the UK, but this was something else. Accusing the newspaper of playing politics is ironic at best. The dramatic music was a tad bit much, and I don't understand the fascination over the fact that this hack, which it wasn't a hack, but let's just play with the idea for a moment. I don't understand why they obsess over referring to the hack as a multi-step process. I've seen that phrase repeated over and over. It's almost as if these people get their education from TV shows, where hacking can be as simple as pressing a single button, and they therefore come to the conclusion that if there's multiple buttons to press, it must have been the work of only the most elite hackers, surely. But then we get to the latest update, which came out just a few days ago. After months of drama, the journalist will not, after all, be prosecuted for the crime of pressing F12. After all, it is the prosecutor who makes these decisions rather than the governor. The prosecutor published a press release saying, "There is an argument to be made that there was a violation of the law." The fact that he even says this is a bit of a red flag to me, but I suppose he needs to let down his boss, the governor, gently. He announced that the investigation is now closed. And the journalist responded with a press release of his own, essentially explaining how his family and himself have been dragged through absolute hell the last few months, not knowing if he was going to have to fight a frivolous lawsuit. There is talk of him suing the state over the legal expenses he's incurred, and if he can, I'm sure you'll agree with me that he definitely should. On the bright side, we did get some memes from this drama, nothing too spicy, but solid memes nonetheless. Let me know in the comments, stupid or malicious? Is the governor just another technically illiterate boomer, convinced of his own BS, or do you think this was done intentionally to intimidate journalists? Let me know down below. This video is sponsored by Linode, who are giving you $100 worth of free cloud computing. Linode is a totally customizable cloud hosting platform. Whether you're looking to quickly spin up a VPN, website, or host a Kubernetes cluster, Linode has you covered. If it runs on Linux, it'll run on Linode. Linode just announced availability of their NVMe block storage, the first alternative cloud provider to officially support this state-of-the-art hardware at no extra cost to their customers. Linode's philosophy is to focus on providing all the tools a developer really needs at competitive prices. Use the link in the description now to claim your free $100. Thanks for watching, you know the drill. Make sure to mutilate the notification bell and follow me on the Instagrams for behind the scenes content, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a good one.